breaking. This is WESH 2 News Sunrise.
Project Economy News and brand new numbers this morning, giving us a look at the foreclosure crisis in Florida.
A company called Realty Track released a new report overnight. They say 39% of the home sales in Florida in the first 3 months of this year were foreclosed properties. In some local counties, that number is as high as 55%. But we've heard the stories, how difficult those sales can be. This morning, we brought in an expert to answer your questions.
And Aixa Diaz is there with him in the newsroom. Aixa.
That's right, Sion. Matt Englett is a real estate attorney. He's with us all morning to talk about your foreclosure and other real estate questions. Thanks for being with us. Let's get right to it, Matt, because we've had several viewers email us questions and put them on Facebook. Christy Hammond wants to know, will the recession bankruptcy filers be treated with better understanding of why they had to do what they felt they had no other choice to do?
Well, we haven't seen that yet. It would be nice if that were the case, but we have not seen where these people are treated a little differently than they would be historically. So we haven't seen that yet, but we'll see what happens in the next couple of years as these people go in and out of the bankruptcy court system.
Stacey Copeland asks a question that many people are wondering. If I'm renting a condo that's about to be foreclosed on, what rights do I have as a tenant?
Well, most renters are protected by the Obama administration passed a statute last year protecting renters that are in foreclosed homes. So if you meet the requirements of the statute, which most renters probably do, you're protected. So in other words, if the bank gets your house back, they have to honor your lease.
So basically, you don't have to be kicked out right away.
Exactly.
And if you're paying rent on time, there's a possibility you could stay in your condo?
Absolutely. Yeah, you can stay for the duration of your lease. And then probably more likely than not, the bank will not renew your lease and you'll have to find another place to live.
But at least you'll have some time to figure it out. Well, thanks so much, Matt. Matt is here all morning until 8 o'clock, and you can actually chat with him live on WESH.com. You can also send your questions to our WESH 2 News Facebook page. And Matt, we'll be back this afternoon from 4 to 6:30 on WESH 2 News to answer even more of your questions. We'll check back with him in just a little bit. See you on, Jason.
Aixa, thank you. New economic numbers this morning paint a picture of the current foreclosure situation in Central Florida. Take a look. More than 35,000 foreclosed homes sold in Florida between January and March. In our area, about half of the homes sold were in some state of foreclosure. Those homes sell at an average that's 28% less than a normal home. But buying these foreclosed homes can raise plenty of questions.
This morning, WESH 2 has an expert to help us out with those answers. Aixa Diaz in with attorney Matt Englett live in the newsroom. So, Aixa, we got a lot of good questions coming in this morning.
We do, Sion. A lot of you have many questions about the real estate market right now and the foreclosure crisis, and Matt is back to answer those questions. Paula Lancey Mayo wants to know, how long does a foreclosure take once someone has filed bankruptcy, even when a modification is in place?
Yeah, it's the same amount of time. Some people think if they go into bankruptcy that it's just over with and that the bank automatically gets your house back. That's actually not true. The bank still has to go through the formal foreclosure process, and oftentimes they'll even agree to modify the mortgage after a bankruptcy.
We've heard from Carmen this morning on our live wire, and you can actually chat live with Matt on WESH.com. She says the economy has hit her family hard like so many other people. Her husband was laid off. The family had some emergencies. She wants to know why the bank won't sell the house back to her at a short sale price instead of giving that deal to someone else who doesn't deserve it, she feels like.
Yeah, I think the banks are very fearful of the slippery slope effect. In other words, if they do it for her, I would say probably half of all homeowners in Central Florida owe more in their home than it's worth. So if they do it for her, everyone's going to want to sign up for that program, and they fear that everyone will want to do that, and they'll lose way too much money on the real estate market. So that's why they don't do it, in my opinion.
And you're hearing a lot of interesting questions. Anything else that's caught your attention?
Not yet, but I'm in the process of answering a bunch of questions, so I'm sure we'll have some good ones.
And that's on LiveWire on WESH.com. Also, you can go to the WESH 2 News Facebook page and ask questions there. Matt will be here through 8 o'clock this morning. Also, you'll be back this afternoon from 4 to 6:30 on WESH 2 News this evening. So if you have any questions, feel free to go online, WESH.com and Facebook, and get those questions answered. See you on, Jason.
Aixa, thank you.
This morning, giving us a clearer picture of the foreclosure crisis in Florida. We're looking at it in our newsroom right now and answering your questions about the real estate market. You can join the chat live on WESH.com, and stay tuned. We're going to answer more of your questions on WESH 2 News on CW18 right after sunrise. Now to Nicole Killian in Washington.